when the little things all go wrong in a game, they tend to add up to a loss. And that's exactly what happened last night. But to get the little things going your way, somebody has to step up big. Who will it be for the Giants tonight to help turn things around in the final game of the series? Giants D-backs next.
We've got another cool and windy night here at the ballpark as we come to you from AT&T Park as we wrap up this 3-game series. Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, you win the first game of the series, you got a chance to win the series if you drop the next one, and that's what happened to the Giants last night. So, hey, you hand the ball to Matt Cain, and you hope that Matt Cain can find it early and then just carry it on for a while.
Well, yeah, a lot of keys tonight. They got to play better defense. They got to hit better with men in scoring position. But it gets back to Matt Cain. Yeah. Matt Cain's got to find his off-speed stuff, and he's got to find it early in the game. That is how he has to pitch right now. If he can get a feel of all of his pitches, he'll give this team a chance to win.
All right, Nunez is on the pine tonight, but Span and Crawford are back. When we come back, Amy G highlights a Giants fan whose favorite player is Hunter Pence. He's mine too. Stay with us for more Giants baseball and Hunter Pence right after this.
Ready for the series finale against their division rivals, the Arizona Diamondbacks, as fans start to come into AT&T Park. Welcome back to our broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and despite last night's loss, hey, Hunter Pence, have a game. 5 times he was on base, and he looked like he was in mid-season form, but we actually think he has a lucky charm. We're going to unveil it right now. There he is, Mini Pence, a.k.a. 4-year-old Charlie. Can you guess who his favorite player is? I talked to Hunter Pence about him today. He said they go way back. They're buds, and they got a chance to visit and catch up before the game yesterday. He's got the stance down, the swing down, and then Hunter got serious, and he said, you know what, it's really humbling and amazing to have the support of little fans like Charlie. Now, as you can tell, Charlie's very inspired by Hunter Pence, but Pence said it's actually the opposite. He's pretty inspired by little guys like Charlie. There he is, the lucky charm. And when we come back, a very special ceremony. The Giants honoring their defensive specialist. It's going to be a good one. Don't go away.
On NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new guacamole and bacon chicken sandwich only at Jack in the Box. And by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon.
Well, 2016, several Giants shined on the field. Tonight, they get honored with some much coveted hardware. Gold Glove ceremony is about to begin. To kick us off, let's get it up to our own Ronell Brooks Moon.
Fans, the Rawlings Gold Glove Award is presented to the top defensive players in baseball who consistently demonstrate defensive artistry and skill. In 1957, the Rawlings Gold Glove Award was established to recognize the best fielders at each position, and over the course of its 60-year storied history, it has evolved into baseball's greatest measure of defensive excellence. Those who are being honored today will be entering a class of some of the greatest names in baseball, having their names inscribed in one of the most sacred honors of America's pastime. As the highest symbol of defensive excellence, today's honorees are now officially the finest in the field. This year, Rawlings is proud to recognize 3 San Francisco Giants for their superior defensive skills. Presenting the awards, representing Rawlings, please welcome Jim Hughes and Mike Thompson, and Giants bench coach Ron Wotus, and first base coach Jose Alguacil. And now the winners. Already off to a great start in 2017, this two-time Rawlings Gold Glove Award winner had one of the statistically best defensive seasons by a shortstop. Rawlings is proud to honor 2016 Rawlings Gold Glove Award winner, your Giants shortstop, Brandon Crawford. This first-time Rawlings Gold Glove Award winner joins his double play partner up the middle to bring home the hardware and is the first Giants second baseman to win since Robbie Thompson. Rawlings is proud to recognize one of the best defensive players in the game today. Rawlings Gold Glove Award winner, your Giants second baseman, Joe Panik. And another first-time Rawlings Gold Glove winner has arguably had one of the best defensive seasons last year, not only as catcher, but across all of baseball. And Rawlings is proud to honor 2016 Rawlings Gold Glove Award winner, your Giants catcher, Buster Posey. Fans, let's salute three of the very best defenders in the game today. 2016 Rawlings Gold Glove Award winners, Brandon Crawford, Joe Panik, and Buster Posey. Congratulations, guys.
Very well deserved. All right. Finale coming up. Crew can Kite lineups, first pitch. It's all coming your way right after these messages. Stay with us.
Out of the dugout as we get ready for baseball here at AT&T Park. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open for spring break. 60 degrees. You see the winds at 19 miles per hour, humidity at 71%, and it is cloudy. The 7-2 Diamondbacks lineup looks like this. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Pollock, Peralta, and then Goldschmidt. This guy always seems to get a big hit against the Giants. That's Jake Lamb, followed by Tomas Drury and Chris Owings. Mathis will do the catching. He'll hit 8th, and Shelby Miller will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the veteran right-hander Matt Cain. Matt Cain, 6'3", 230-pounder, and this is what his outing looked like in his last outing in San Diego. 4 1/3, 6 base hits, 3 walks, 9 base runners. He needs to improve upon that. When you take your bats against him, you're going to see a high 80s fastball. Occasionally he'll go into the 90s. He's got it. He'll 2 and 4 seam that fastball. He'll cut the ball. He's got a curveball and a changeup. And when he's on, the changeup is very, very good. And that'll have to be good tonight. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Matt Cain. Starting in the outfield for the Giants from left to right, it'll be Parker, Span, and Pence. Crawford and Gillespie will be on the left side of the infield. Panic and Bell on the right side. Nick Hundley, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's A.J. Pollock as he will lead things off, and the first pitch of the ball game is up and in. So we get started at 7:16.
Matt Cain, 32 years of age, in his 12th year at the big league level.
Pollock drives one out into right center field, and nobody's there. Span gives it a great effort, and Pollock is going to end up at third base. So that's how this game gets started, with a leadoff triple. I might add that Pollock also has had some big hits against the Giants.
Ball had sliced. It was really working itself away from Span, and it winds up splitting the gap between Span and Pitts beautifully. It's our Toyota Exmo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Shows you how close he came to catching it.
So Pollock now at third, and Peralta takes a pitch down low. Peralta hitting 182, a couple of home runs, 3 driven in. (2-0). His numbers against Matt Cain, he's 3 for 7 with a triple.
It's the team that Matt Cain has always done well against. 14-8 lifetime against Arizona.
Right now he can't throw a strike. It's 3-0.
Let's take a look at our Nissan keys to the game. Number 1, Matt Cain, you got to get the changeup going. That is the pitch that he pitched off of his last couple starts in spring training. Really threw it very well and pitched very effectively. It sets up his fastball. Number 2, defense, defense, defense. Giants have got to tighten things up with the leather. Those are our Nissan keys to the game.
And a strike to Peralta. It's C.B. Buckner behind the plate, followed by Gonzalez at first, Culbreth at second, Carlson at third. Hit out into right center field for Denard Span. This will be a sacrifice fly, and it's an early 1-0 lead for the D-backs.
Nice situational hitting from Peralta. C.B. Buckner, the plate umpire, has got a strike zone. He'll give you lows. You'll see some belt high strikes, but it's a strike zone that can float around. And, the corners can breathe. Some innings they're narrow, some they're wide. So we'll see.
Here's Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt takes a strike, hitting at .303 this year with a couple of home runs. 5 runs batted in overall. He's 1 for 7 in the series. And this is lifted down the right field line. Hunter Pence battling the wind, and Hunter Pence in fair territory makes the catch throughout.
You're going to see any ball hit in the air tonight. There's going to be a lot of battling with the wind on pop-ups, on fly balls. There's a possible chance of rain forecast. A lot of weather around, but a lot of wind here in the Bay Area. These are unusual winds because they're blowing out to left. Normally, the wind blows straight out to center.
You see some motion out there out in the cove as Lamb takes a ball. 1 ball and no strike.
Usually the Cove is pretty glassy, but not tonight.
Lamb at 286, a couple of home runs, 10 driven in. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. No overshift, but Crawford really playing behind the bag. Now Gillespie will overshift as he goes to the right. You saw the wind. Three and 0 with Tomas on deck. Kane thought, I think he had 2 or 3 strikes in that at bat, and he got none.
You're going to see Bruce Bochy. He's going to be barking at CB Buckner all night. And really what happens with Buckner is that he's inconsistent with his strike zone. And he can be very, very narrow, and it just can frustrate everybody. We're not talking about hitters, we're talking about pitchers as well. Two-seam movement, trying to come back on that inside corner. What Bochy's reacting to is how the ball was caught. Nick Hundley never moved his glove.
Here's Tomas. Tomas takes a curveball, 1 ball and no strikes. Tomas 345 with a home run, 5 runs batted in. Tomas went 1 for 4. He had a home run on Monday. And then a couple of hits in the game last night. 2 and 0. So Kane trying to navigate through this first inning by just allowing 1 run. Three and 0. Lamb's bouncing around like he wants to steal a bag. He doesn't have any this year.
And you will see Tomas take after a 3-0 pitch.
Right there for a strike. 3 and 1. One for 7. Tomas against Matt Cain, lifetime. See what Lamb does here. He goes, swing and a miss. The throw, not in time. Is it 1 hop, Panic, and Panic had it skip out of his glove. So Lamb with his first steal of the year.
Well, if you're going to miss low, give your infielder a chance to field the 1 hop. And he got spiked right on the top of the right knee.
And the walk.
That is the look of concern from Giants pitching coach Dave Righetti.
Here's Brandon Drury, who's got a little bit of ownage on Kane. In 3 at bats, he's got 3 hits. During the season, hitting .357. Drury has been held hitless in this series. And Kane throws him a strike, and it's 0-1.
That's going to be key. I mean, right now he's really searching for the strike zone, and it has not been a big strike zone. There have probably been 3 or 4 pitches that could have been called a strike that he did not get from C.B. Buckner. But Kane has to find a way to get in the strike zone and get in there early, get that early advantage, get ahead of the hitter.
Out of play. It's now 0-2. So the fans here trying to encourage Matt Cain. Cain a favorite here since he arrived.
And always will be.
So Cain is out in front, so he did not have to come into Drury. And it's high, 1-2. A little bit of an overthrow.
And 91 miles per hour on the velocity.
Belt kicks it around, flips it to Cain, and Cain beats Drury to the bag. So Cain gets out of it. He allows the 1 run. Span, Belt, and Pence coming up. Up for the first time, and here's their starting lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Span, Belt, and Hunter Pence. Brandon Crawford gets the nod in the cleanup spot, and you can see his RBIs since 2015. Gillespie 5th, and Hundley, Panic, and Parker, and Matt Cain, of course, will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the D-backs will be the right-hander Shelby Miller, 6'3", 230-pounder. He's a 4-year veteran. You take your at-bats against Miller, you're going to see a fastball that's healthy, and it's going to be mid to high 90s. He's also got a curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he'll use them all when he's on. High 3/4 release. This is his outing against the Indians. They gave up a home run the first, walked a couple, they scored the second, then that was it. 7 strikeouts and 5 1/3. Going a lot better this season than he did last season.
Span takes a strike. Span overall at 222. He's had 19 lifetime at bats against Shelby Miller with 4 hits. Span drives it to left, and he's got a base hit. Will he go for 2? You bet. And he'll make it. Pollock opened up the top of the first with a triple. Span opens up the bottom of the first with a double. And here's Belt.
Nice opposite field approach. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively behind Miller tonight. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Tomas, Pollock, and Peralta, the best arm in left field. Owens and Lamb on the left side of the infield. Drury and Goldschmidt on the right side. And Jeff Mathis, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Here's Belt, who's had little luck against Miller. He's 1 for 22. The only bright spot is the one hit was a home run. He's 0 for 7 in the series, and his job now is get him in, get him over. Foul back as he got a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Pence. Outfield straight away, kind of bunching Pence in the alleys. One and 2.
Challenge fastball at 93 on the outside corner. That's the one swing. If you're looking for a fastball, and likely in a 1-strike situation he is, and you get what you're looking for and you swing through it, that's when you step out of the box and have a word with yourself. And that's going to be a challenge to Brandon Belt this year, to hit those challenge fastballs at the belt.
High fastball, 2 and 2.
They're just going at it with hard step.
Now, if you're looking for the Warriors and Lakers, you can see it right now on Comcast 780, dish 9575, AT&T 1771, and the NBCSportsBayArea.com for more information. Here's the pitch to Belt, and it's low, 3 and 2.
Good take.
NBC Sports Bay Area Plus, Warriors and Lakers, and that is starting right now. 3 and 2. So if you're Belt, you gotta think you're going to see a fastball here. On the ground, and that'll do the job. Belt is thrown out.
So he avoided the strikeout. Wound up having a situational at bat. Got his man over. That last fastball, 96-mile-an-hour fastball, is our fast pitch brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
So that was a 6-3 ground out. Owens is the one who was playing closest to Goldschmidt. Now it's Pence with Span at third. Pence is at 324 with a home run and 3 driven in. Infield is going to play halfway. And a swing. Going to miss. It's no balls and 1 strike.
Well, that's supposed to be a slider. And that thing backed up.
Foul back, nothing at 2. Giants stranded 13 in the game yesterday. They did score 3 runs. They scored 2 in the 9th. They scored 1 in the 8th. But leaving that many on and losing in a 1-run game, all of a sudden you see the difference. Out of play down the right field line.
Just climbing the ladder with 95 miles an hour. Pitch did well to fight that one off. That was out of the strike zone up. Not an easy one to cover with your top hand.
And a breaking ball is low and away. 1 and 2. Pence does have 6 hits and 21 at bats in his career against Miller. One of those hits a home run. Out of play again. Miller again goes right at him.
It's like a little quick pitch there for Miller. Very close to not stopping as he brought his hands down. When you're in a set position, you have to have a stop before you start home, and he was very close to not having one. If you don't stop, it's a balk.
Got him.
Stayed high with gas. '95, you see the high target from Mathis, and he gets Pence to chase.
Here's Crawford. Crawford off to a good start, hitting .355 with a home run. He's got 5 driven in. Did not start the game last night, but came in as a pinch hitter in the ninth. And he takes low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Curveball is a really good pitch for Miller his last outing against Cleveland. He threw it 9 times on the first pitch. He got it over 7 of those times. And that was on the first pitch. Start off the at bat.
Hit on the ground to Goldschmidt. And that's going to end the inning. So the Giants waste an opportunity, and we will head to the second. It's 1-0 D-backs.
Bay Area is brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
It's a 1-0 lead for the D-backs. The difference in this game, a converted sacrifice fly for the D-backs and one that was not converted for the Giants. So it will be Owings, Mathis, and Miller facing Matt Cain here in the second. And Owings with a healthy rip and a foul straight back. Owings hitting at .333, a home run, 5 driven in. Owings a good game. Yes, well, yesterday he went 1 for 4. as he opens up this inning with a base hit. And the ball squirts away, and just like that, Owings is on second. Let's check in with Amy G.
All right, guys, switching gears a little bit. I do have some sad news to report. Our thoughts and condolences going out to the Cepeda family this evening. Miriam Cepeda, the wife of Giants Hall of Famer Orlando, has passed away. The Giants held a moment of silence for her in her honor before tonight's game. Just 62 years young, guys, but she will always be known for her vivacious spirit and the joy she brought to all who knew her. She will be very missed. Dwayne and Mike.
She will be missed. She was lots and lots of fun.
She was a beautiful woman, and indeed she will be.
Here's Mathis. So a hit and an error, and Kane to Mathis, and it's down low. 1 ball and no strikes. On deck is Shelby Miller. Mathis has only had 2 lifetime at bats against Matt Kane, and he's hitless. Overall hitting .294 with an RBI. On the ground to Crawford. Crawford from short. 1 out.
That's as good as a strikeout. Any out you get with that runner at second base can't advance. I mean, that's a plus if you're on the mound. That's what you're pitching for.
Here's Miller. Miller 0 for 1 on the season. And he looks at a bell tie strike, and it's 0-1. There's some weird skies today, huh? Some misty rain early in the day, and there's some rain in the area.
It's kind of been the theme all winter long. Lots of clouds, lots of wet. There is a threat of rain tonight later on in the evening. Hey, it's Northern California. It's April. It's been a wet winter, so be prepared for anything.
Anything. Kane with pitch number 30 in the game, and it's a breaking ball down low. And he got him.
So he kind of put him to sleep with breaking balls, and a 1-2 count threw a fastball right by him for his first strikeout of the night. And really, this is what he has to do. I mean, he has to set that fastball up with the off-speed stuff.
Here's Pollock, who opened up the game with a triple. Pollock sees Kane pretty good. Now lifetime 7 for 16. And he takes a strike.
It's like two-seamer at 90 miles an hour, wrap around that outside corner. I mean, that's more than enough fastball to be able to be successful here. A lot of fans are concerned that Matt Kane's fastball was around 88. That's still enough. If you locate, use movement, you mix speeds. I mean, that's more than enough fastball to set all your off-speed stuff up, and vice versa. Have your off-speed stuff set your fastball up.
And he hits the outside corner 1 and 2.
Side of the plate that is going to be 50-50. I mean, that's a generous strike right there.
throw it there again.
Well, yeah, foot off the plate. You're getting it. Keep throwing it.
Two and two. He tried.
Well, he's thinking the same thing. And when a pitcher knows he's getting a wide strike zone, he's going to keep going out there until the faucet gets shut off.
We also saw Pollock against Corey Guerin drive a ball to right field for a hit in Arizona that was a foot off the plate. They're coming in. Out of play. It stays at 2-2. Leaked out though, didn't it?
It did. The thing about Pollock, I mean, as you point out, I think the strength of his abilities are middle away. If you're going to go in, you got to get it in there. You got to get in at the belt. He's a good hitter. And we saw Jeff Samardzija blow him up in Arizona, just pounding his hands. Tried to cut the front door just a wee bit inside. Talk about the success that Pollock has had against Kane. Kane knows that, and he also knows he has an open base here, which simply means he doesn't have to just challenge Pollock with a strike. He can think corner pitch here.
Got him with a breaking ball, and that'll end the inning. Nice job by Kane pitching through the hit in the air. It'll be Gillespie to lead things off.
Coverage of the Lakers-Warrior game is coming up next on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus, which can be found on the channels listed here. If you can't find NBC Sports Bay Area Plus, log on to NBCSportsBayArea.com or call your local cable provider. And it is on right now.
Right now. And these guys don't care. Hey, lefty brought his glove. That'll be it.
It's a player.
Here's Gillespie. Giants trail 1-0. Connor Gillespie in the starting lineup, hitting .333. He's got a run batted in. Some guys put on an exhibition during batting practice by knocking the ball out of the park. Gillespie today just hit line drives all over the park.
From line to line. And that's what he's all about. With no batting gloves. You look at his hands, and it really is a throwback. Calluses all up and down.
Was that a foul ball?
It was a foul ball. I think it may have caught a piece of C.B. Buckner.
But they're waiting for C.B. Buckner to make a call. Touchdown.
Does it hit something? Let's go. Fastball. Oh yeah. It hit the bat, hit the glove, hit the umpire. So 2-1.
Nick Hundley on deck. He skies this one out into right center field. Now join us at the ballpark Sunday. It's Easter on April 16th as the Giants take on the Rockies. The first 5,000 kids 14 and under, they're going to receive a Brendan Crawford backpack courtesy of Toyota. sfgiants.com.
I think now there's a cape on the back of that backpack, and I think it's very appropriate to have a cape on something that has Brandon Crawford's name on it. He can pull the cape off.
Yeah. Hundley at 333 had a really nice game yesterday in the absence of Buster Posey. Hundley went 3 for 5. Taps it foul. It's now 0-2. Hundley stepping out, adjust the batting gloves.
Joe Panic on deck, chalking up.
Tap foul.
One thing we found out about Nick Hundley is he will definitely guess in a 2-strike situation. Thinks well in that batter's box.
Hit out into center field. Standing there is A.J. Pollock.
All right, time now for our Jeep drive of the game. May 13th of last year, Giants take on the D-backs, and Joe Panic in a 3-run homer off of Shelby Miller in the top of the 6th inning. And in that ball game, that would be all the Giants would get, and that would be all the Giants would need. They would win that game 3-1. That's our Jeep drive of the game.
Panic at the plate, 2 outs, nobody on. And he looks at a breaking ball for a strike. Joe Panic at 346. He's got 3 runs batted in. Had some pretty good numbers against Shelby Miller, 5 for 12 in his career. And Miller right now throwing strikes. He's out in front, 0-2.
Completely different Shelby Miller than what we saw last year at any time. Last year he just was in search of mechanics all year long. He's ready.
Floyd Turbo.
Oh yeah.
0-2. Panic steps out. A 1-2.
can see the follow through of Shelby Miller. And when he is done releasing, his arm action will come down and he'll be right around his knees. There's a time last year in San Diego when he had a follow through and his hand hit the dirt.
On the ground is short. And the throw is knocked down by Goldschmidt. Panic is aboard. Owens will be charged with an error. Owens didn't have a whole lot of rhythm on this throw.
Everything was looking good there. Good hop skip, and he throws low. And usually everything in the dirt to Paul Goldschmidt, you just assume he's going to get.
Absolutely.
And this time he could not quite keep it in the pocket. So the Giants catch a break, extend the inning, and now Jared Parker gets the hit with Miller in the stretch.
Here's Parker. And a balk has been called, so Panic will go down, and now maybe Parker loses the at bat.
We saw opportunity for Torrey Lovella, the manager of the Diamondbacks, in Arizona to walk intentionally in situations like this. He did not. What he likes is to have an inning where that pitcher leads off. Let's take a look at Miller. There's a start and there's a stop, and that's an easy balk to call.
Even I saw that one.
Well, watch his body start, and then he just stopped.
Parker takes high.
And I'm really surprised by this. Now they know that Parker's been struggling. He's hit .071 on the year. He's had one hit. But still, he also has a threat of hitting one out of his ballpark. From foul line to foul line, he's got that kind of power.
Well, they're trying to get Parker to chase the high fastball. Matt Cain is on deck. Three and 0.
Just a wee bit inside. Miller wanted that pitch. Not missed by much.
So Cain's going to hit.
So they four-fingered and intentionally walked him without throwing the pitch. It still seems weird. Yeah. With the new rule this year where you don't have to actually throw the intentional walk.
I liked it as an infield. It gave you a breather.
Now all of a sudden your breather's gone.
Here's Cain. Cain, hey, there was a time this young man could hit, so it's in there.
He's got 7 lifetime home runs.
Fouls this one back and out of play.
And he could hit a golf ball as far as Dustin Johnson. You saw that here.
Oh, and 1 to Matt Cain. One ball and 1 strike. Miller to Cain. Here it is. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. It's the one you got to lay off of if you can.
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, pitchers, they don't hit every day, and they don't have a great idea of the strike zone compared to the regular players. And when you see a high fastball coming right inside, you see it so well, but you just can't get to it.
Kane took that one. It's 2-2.
Miller tried to go back up there again. Oh, how Bruce Bochy would love to see Denard Span hit in this inning.
To the backstop. Better hustle. So both runners move up on the wild pitch. And now Matt Cain can really make it hurt.
Well, there's not a whole lot Jeff Mathis can do here. I mean, it's just by him. I mean, he was sitting on the outside and he still had to reach across his body. Just couldn't get to it, that velocity. So a pitcher throws a pitch like that 2-2. I mean, you got to believe he's thinking about that on a 3-2. And I think Jeff Mathis wants to go out and talk to Shelby Miller about that.
Yeah, he's asking him, all right, Shelby, what can you get over here? That's right. Slider? All right, let's do it.
Hey, you know that fastball you just threw? Don't throw it again.
Here's the payoff to Cain. And Cain strikes out swinging. And that'll end the inning. Giants leave a pair after 2. It's 1-0 D-backs.
Stories in this date, 1960, April 12th, first game ever at Candlestick Park. And Vice President Richard Dixon was in attendance. There you see him with Horace Stoneham, the owner of the Giants. The Giants beat the Cardinals that day 3-1. Orlando Cepeda went 2 for 3 with a triple, and he knocked in all 3 runs. And that was game number 1 at Candlestick Park. And that's your McDonald's True Stories.
What did the president say?
Best park ever.
Greatest park ever. And then about 2 weeks after he said that, everybody wanted to tear it down. Peralta is going to lead it off, facing Matt Cain. And a strike. Peralta hit a sacrifice fly in the first inning. It wasn't anything against the park. It was just the conditions.
Yeah, the park was beautiful. I mean, that's before they enclosed it. But it's just so windy and cold. Holy smokes.
That made the game So much more difficult for the players and just made the game uncomfortable for the fans.
Greatest place in the world to pitch, because it was the worst place in the world to hit.
2-2 on the foul ball to Peralta.
You know, and you think about McCovey and Mays and Cepeda and what they did in weather conditions that really were not conducive to hit. Pretty remarkable.
Got him.
See ya. Good two-seam movement on that fastball. It froze Peralta. This is what you want to see if you're a pitcher. You want to see a guy back off thinking he's going to get hit and then have the movement come right back almost in the middle of the strike zone. That's big movement.
Goldschmidt hit a pop-up to Pence in the first inning. Paul Goldschmidt now 8 for 34 lifetime against King. Makes it for a strike.
Got that two-seamer working right now. You know, I think that's one thing that a veteran catcher does really well is he notices what's working, because things can change. But you have the first, no guarantee you're going to have the same stuff in the third or the fifth or the seventh. It changes. And you have a game plan going into a game, but I mean, it all changes on the fly. When if you're a catcher, you see what a guy out there on the mound has or what he doesn't have, and you have to make it work.
And it's now 3-2. Goldschmidt thought it was away. How good a player is this guy?
Since 2013, batting average ranks him first in the National League, third in home runs, first in RBIs, first in total bases slugging percentage and OPS. Oh, and by the way, don't forget he can steal bases.
Got him. Goldschmidt said, "I fouled it." C.B. Buckner said, "No, you didn't."
Well, Goldschmidt never, ever argues. Take a look and see if he got a piece of it. I don't think he did.
Well, the fact that Hundley didn't catch it, you have to look to see, did he redirect it?
It's not a reviewable play. But Torey Lovullo is definitely making a point. CB, even I could hear it over there in the dugout. Sorry, I couldn't hear it. I didn't hear it. You didn't foul it. Hey, but thanks for stopping by.
So I can put it in the scorecard. It's not going to change.
No, that will not change.
All right, let's listen.
Listen. You know,
don't know.
I don't think Goldschmidt lies. I mean, really, I just don't think he does.
Lamb takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
And I think he believes it. But if he did, I mean, he just shaved a little bit of the red seam on the ball.
And a base hit for Lamb. With 2 outs, Tomas is going to hit.
It just seems like he's always on base.
So I want to go back to Goldschmidt. So you're putting him in the massive choir boy status?
Oh, totally. All right, let's see. Did he? I don't think he did.
So you don't think that he did foul it? So then he lied.
Well, I think he shaved the little white seam on the white ball, or the little red seam on the white ball.
He's a choir boy. He's just not the captain of the choir boy team.
Oh no, he's got that type of reputation.
I agree with you totally. I think if he argues with an umpire, the umpire is going to have to, after the game, take a look at the call.
Well, if I'm CB Buckner and Goldschmidt's arguing with me, I'm doubting myself.
Absolutely. Hunter Pence in right field will battle the wind. And he's going to put it away. So Dean pitches through the 2-out single. Choir boy status. Paul Goldschmidt. Span to lead it off.
Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
It's a 1-0 lead for the D-backs. As Denard Span leads things off. And Span takes a pitch down low. Denard Span doubled to open up the bottom of the first inning.
I think he's seeing Miller well. Just the way he took that pitch too.
And that's high, 2-0. Belt to follow. This is popped up and playable. See if Owens is going to be able to make it. He does. Well, on the 26th of April, it's the annual Bay Area Unite night with the Warriors presented by Pete's Coffee. Your event package is going to include a ticket to the Dodgers game and a co-branded Giants Warriors reversible beanie. Remember, you need the ticket for the beanie. sfgiants.com/special events. So Span had cut count leverage. Here's Belt. Belt hits a little pop-up. It's over third, and it's Lamb going out, and he makes the catch. A couple of pop-ups and a couple of quick outs, and here's Pence. And Pence takes high. Pence struck out with Span at third with only one out in the first inning. Here he takes a strike. Swing and a foul back. Pence had a good rip. It's now 2-2.
Just missed that one. I'm Shelby Miller. I don't think I threw in that same location again.
Ooh, close. Another started to park.
Oh yeah, I mean,
3-2.
he had one cheek on the dugout bench. Just a little slider, and I mean right on the outside corner, perhaps maybe an inch low. A lot of umpires, you're walking back to the dugout if you're Hunter Pence.
Pence on the ground to first. Goldschmidt right there. And that'll end the inning. Miller pitching well. His first 3 up, 3 down inning. It's 1-0 D-backs.
Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Caltrans Stormwater. Keep our highways clean. Protect our water. ProtectEveryDrop.com.
Here at TNT Park, it's 1-0 D-backs as we go to the 4th. And here in the 4th inning, it'll be Brandon Drury who hits the first pitch. Out into right center field. Hunter Pence on the move. And Hunter Pence tracks it down. 1 pitch, 1 out. And as my pilot likes to say, a gift.
Well, it's like starting off the inning with an out. Throw 1 pitch, and all of a sudden, 1 out. Watch this ball slice back to Pence. And I think the wind knocked this thing down.
Owings had a single in the 2nd inning.
Go back and watch that route that Hunter Pence ran. It had a little arc in it. You don't normally see arced routes from Hunter Pence. They're usually straight as a string. And that's why.
First time I ever heard Milo Hamilton calls this a banana ball.
Well, and watch the way that he takes out this ball, and all of a sudden now he has to arc back in. And that had everything to do with wind knocking it down.
The late Milo Hamilton. It's a banana ball.
What a cartoon character he was. With a great set of pipes.
Pitches down low. 1 and 2. Mathis on deck. Got him. Amy G's here with a lid. Way to go, Amy. Looking good.
I got an idea from somebody. Wonder who that was. Giants announcing today that they have signed Melvin Upton Jr. to a minor league contract. I chatted with Bobby Evans, the Giants GM, got a little bit of a scouting report and what this means. He said Upton comes with power, speed, he can defend, he has experience. But the biggest reason for the signing, guys, is it gives the Giants an option. He said there are no promises. They're going to evaluate him. He's in Arizona now. He's going to start playing games in extended spring training tomorrow. And when the Giants feel he's ready, he will join their AAA club. Guys.
All right. A couple of options for this organization as they move forward. I mean, we always say it. Look, the opening day roster at the beginning of April may not look like that on June 1st. You might have 3 or 4 different players by then.
That's the way it goes.
Kane is dealing right now, folks. That's 6 strikeouts. It'll be Crawford to lead things off.
Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Well, Giants fans, stream the Giants on the go. This season, you'll be able to stream every NBC Sports Bay Area Giants broadcast on your desktop or mobile device. Giants games streamed on the go on the NBC Sports app.
Here's Crawford. Brandon Crawford rolled out to second to end the first inning. Giants have had 3 base runners, a double, an error, and a walk. And Crawford pounds this one on the ground to Goldschmidt. And 1 Gold Glover to another, and it's 1 out. And here's Gillespie. Gillespie, and a long at bat, hit a fly ball to center field in the second. 1 ball and no strikes.
Missing that curveball, and he likes to back that curveball up if he misses the first pitch for a strike. Throw it twice in a row, even the count. Let's see if he does it here. Nope, they want a fastball.
And he got a fastball, and it's a called strike. Just a bit outside.
So it's kind of dragging him through the garden. First pitch curveball, second pitch fastball. And that last pitch was a cutter. Trying to wrap it around the outside corner. Didn't miss by much.
Hit out to Owens, and it's juggled, and Owens makes another throwing error. That'll be his second of the game.
Now they move over to the right side, kind of a jam shot. Little three hopper, everything's fine there. Ball just goes down the dirt, and Goldschmidt cannot come up with it.
That's a couple now that really have hit Goldschmidt in the middle of the glove, and he just hasn't been able to stay in the glove.
That's rare to see.
So the Giants with a base runner, and now it'll be Nick Hundley, who hit a fly ball to center field in the second. And Hundley pops it up right behind home plate. And it's Lamb who comes in from third. Two outs. Here's Panic. All right, vote at NBCSportsBayArea.com/AST for the 2017 All-Star T-shirt. It's brought to you by Provident Credit Union. It is the 11th season for this program. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Here's Panic. Panic drives one to right, and the wind just totally knocks it down as Peralta comes in to make the catch. Through 4, 1-0.
Moment brought to you by Coors Banquet. September 14th, 1986. Giants taking on the Atlanta Braves. And that's when Bob Brimley played third base, normally a catcher, set a major league record by committing 4 errors in an inning. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And there's 4. At the plate, however, Brimley went 3 for 5 with a 2-run homer and 4 RBIs, including a walk-off homer in the 9th inning off Paul Ossenbacher. And the Giants would go home winners. And Roger Craig called that the Hum Baby Game of the Year. But that's not the greatest thing he ever did.
No. No.
Greatest thing he ever did was 1983 spring training, and we got rained out that particular day. So we go across the street to the YMCA, across the street from Scottsdale Stadium. And Brinley, this is early on in spring. He catches. He's a catcher. He bullpen catches 9 guys. So he's in the squat for like an hour and a half with his shin guards on. And when the workout was all over, we're in the gym. They got baskets. So Jeffrey Leonard goes over and he starts making a couple baskets. Then he runs up and he does like a two-handed dunk that just sort of silenced everybody. And Brindley walks over with his shin guards on after catching 9 bullpens. And he's got a cigarette in his mouth, and he gets right underneath the basket. And he goes up and he jams the ball flat-footed with 2 hands.
Yes, he did.
And there was a cheer that went up. That's the greatest thing he ever did.
We're still cheering that. That dunk by Bob Brenly.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. So much fun playing with that guy. Yeah, that was a good day. Best catcher I ever threw to.
2-2 to Shelby Miller. And it's tapped foul. Pitches wise for Matt Cain, he's got 66.
Ooh, that's a good pitch.
My goodness.
And that 2-seam fastball is just, they're all night long for Cain. It's just that type of zone with C.B. Buckner. It's inconsistent, and it floats.
And on the ground to Panic. So it's not going to hurt Cain as Miller bounces out. Still ticked off the manager.
Well, the only lateral damage is it cost him 1 extra pitch.
Pollock is 1 for 2, a triple and a strikeout. Up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. On deck is Peralta.
When you look at the first inning as to how Cain started off, as to where he is right now, his confidence has just built every inning. Man, this coach is losing his mind because he's looking at how Nick Hundley is catching the ball. He's not reaching outside of his shin guards. In a 1-0 count, you're not going to exaggerate an outside target. You're going to set up behind home plate. And if you're the manager from the side, in that 1-0 count, you don't see that catcher's glove move, you know that umpire missed a pitch. Or at least you assume that.
Three and 1 to Pollock. Pollock on the ground to Crawford, and Crawford's going to spin around barehanded to Belt, and they got him. And the Brandons pull another one off.
That ball was roasted. It looked like it exploded. That last hop. Watch the ball, the second hop come up on Crawford. Now to his bare hand. That's a great tip for kids. If you don't field it with your glove, when you go to get the ball, pick it up with your bare hand. And Crawford unloading the gun to get the out.
So here's Peralta.
You don't really get a lot of time to correct yourself with Pollock.
No, you don't. You got to go. And a base hit past Belt. And Goldschmidt will hit. Yeah, it is a popular spot. If my partner had his way, we'd have one of those here in the booth.
We tried in our negotiation this year.
Blowing away to Goldschmidt. That wouldn't be good, though. I mean, maybe one a homestand, but one every night would be a bit rough.
I don't know. I'd give it a try.
There's a strike. He's been able to hit that spot tonight.
Pitch into a floating zone. I mean, too. I mean, that's the type of strike zone that can frustrate a pitcher, and you really haven't been able to tell one way or the other the reaction from Kane to a lot of these non-calls that he didn't get.
Yeah, he's always pretty stoic on the mound. They almost got Peralta, who was bouncing around and giving up slowly.
Well, he was going. I mean, he was 2 steps into it. Kane, all he wanted to do was just step off.
You could jam your shoulder the way he landed right there. Shoulder, wrist.
Well, there was nothing smooth about that effort to get back to the bag.
Gillespie to panic, and that'll end the inning. For the Giants, it'll be Parker, Kane, and Span. It's 1-0 D-backs. Easter Sunday, a special Easter ticket offer includes 2 tickets for only $60 and a See's Candy Treasure Egg. And you can go about doing this by visiting sfgiants.com/Easter for more information. Parker is going to lead things off. He drew a walk in the second, then Kane, and then Span. Something is fallen out of the arcade in right field, which means Peralta's got to fetch. So here's Parker. Giants with one hit, and that was Span. Opened up the bottom of the first with a double. Parker takes a strike.
Extreme set defensively in right center field with Peralta. I mean, that's a lot of room over there. That's just a target. And with Jarrett Parker's speed, if he got a ball down the line, it'd be an easy triple.
Overshift on the infield, and then the exaggerated right field positioning, which is really playing right center field. And another foul back. Bonds around the batting cage today was encouraging Jarrett Parker.
It's great to see Barry. Looks good. Great shape.
Got him. Third strikeout. Here's King.
Set the outside target. Just wrap around a little breaking ball. Just shave the edge of the strike zone. And when Parker was walking back to the Giants dugout, C.D. Buckner, the plate umpire, was getting another earful from Bruce Bochy.
Kane lifts this one foul down the right field line and out of play.
Heads up. Been pouring hot chocolate all night, and that was his chance.
Gone it.
Yep, it's the rubber gloves. All right, let's take a look. I got it. Oh.
Kane drives it into left center field. Nobody's there. And he is on the move. And that's a double for Matt King.
Yeah, they shaded him over towards the right center field side, and that ball was really scalded. So Pollock, who's got really good range, I mean, even with his range, he had no chance to get over. That's how hot this ball was hit. 95-mile-an-hour fastball just turns it around. And watch Peralta have no chance at it.
Span is doubled and he's popped out. Kane in scoring position. Down low.
They all have pretty good arms in the outfield. Diamondbacks do. The best arm strength-wise is in left field with Tomas. But he does not have the accuracy of Pollock or Peralta in right. And you don't have a whole lot of speed with Matt King. So if he's going to score on a base hit, he's going to have to find a gap.
Belt on deck. Span, 1 ball and 1 strike. Outside, 2-1. Miller about to throw pitch number 68. Nope, 3-1.
not that far away from the location that called a strike earlier in the at-bat. So a 3-1 cut fastball. And that really is something that I don't think Shelby Miller felt comfortable doing all last year. And that's throwing an off-speed pitch behind the count. Mr. Posey looking on. Day 2 of his 7-day concussion DL. Feeling better.
It's a 3-2 count to Denard Span. And Span with a base hit, and here comes Kane. And they're going to wave in Kane. Here's Pollock's throw. It is cut off. Game tied.
Okay, that's a great read from Phil Nevin. Talk about Kane, he does not have a whole lot of speed. I don't know why Pollock had a little bit of a hesitation in center field. The swing of the bat on a 3-2 pitch, right back up the middle. That's our forward right choice. But as you watch this ball get to center field, there's a little bit of hesitation from Pollock. And that little bit of hesitation was the green light for Phil Nevin. Gets the ball, a little bit of a problem getting it out of his glove. And Kane, even with his below average speed, given the green light by Nevin, and it wasn't even close.
See what Nevin is saying? My butt's on the line, my butt's on the line.
That's our forward right choice.
Here's Belt. Hey, it worked for Flan.
Great call. That's all it takes. One little bit of hesitation. And even with a guy who doesn't have great speed, he gets an extra 90 feet and ties the score.
Belt takes high. Span leaning like he may go. He does not have a steal this year. He's been caught once. So now it's up to Kane to catch his breath before he goes out to pitch the 6th. And that breaking ball is high. 2 balls and no strikes. So Kane sets the table and Span knocks him in. No third baseman. And Belt thought about it, and Span gets back. That'll make you think, if you're the defense, whether you really want to do it. D-backs are not going to change. They're still going to.
You know, it is a bit of a dice roll, though, when you're talking about a tie score. And the bunt's there for the taking. Definitely would put a runner in scoring position, put 2 runners on.
And the walk, so it's there anyway.
Now here's the 2-0 pitch. Just a bit inside, but definitely see the thought process of Brandon Belt. I mean, he's looking.
Yeah, if that pitch was middle away, then he's going to try to bunt.
Yeah.
Pence is 0 for 2.
And he will definitely try to do some damage on the first pitch.
Knocked down by Mathis. 1 ball and no strikes.
So respected Hunter Pence's first pitch tendencies. They throw him a breaking ball, and now he's got a 1-0 count because they didn't get it over.
And a strike to Pence at 94.
That's the thing about first ball fastball hitter. If you stay away from that fastball and you throw a breaking ball, if you don't throw it for a strike, well then guess what? It's a 1-0 count. It's still a fastball count for a fastball hitter. Because a guy's a first pitch fastball hitter does not mean don't throw a first pitch fastball. Just don't throw it in an area where he can hurt you.
And down the right field line, and this is trouble. And here comes Span. Span's going to score. Belt to third. Giants take the lead. Nice piece of hitting by Hunter Pence.
That was not a hanger. And I'm not sure how much of his lower body had in this. Not much. Little slider off the plate away, and look at him just sort of off-balanced, and he throws the bat head, and it winds up being a great opposite field burn. And the Giants take the lead, and they are set up to put on some more.
About the most you're going to get out of Hunter Pence after a hit.
So Mike Butcher on out to make a few mechanical suggestions to Shelby Miller. Perhaps.
Or perhaps a pep talk. Crawford is bounced out twice. Here he takes low.
He's not had the command of the breaking ball in this game like he had this last game, especially the left-handed hitters.
And the pitch to Crawford. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the changeup at 88. Two-seam grip, a little movement, tailing away from the left-handed hitting Crawford. And that pitch always sets up fastball in.
Crawford takes down low.
So 3 pitches, 3 off-speed pitches. Curveball, changeup, curveball.
Crawford fouls it straight back. Pence at first, Belt at third, and the 2-2 to Crawford. Got him.
So in the end, he goes to the cutter. And that's the beauty of the cut. I mean, it's not big movement. Even if it's in a bad location, if it's late, it can still be effective. So he gets to swing through strikeout with a runner at third base and less than 2 outs. Exactly what he was pitching for.
Now here's Gillespie. Gillespie swinging it pretty good. Reached on an error in the 4th inning. We are in the 5th. And a base hit for Gillespie, and Belt will score. It's 3-1. There you go.
And they can continue to add on. Same pitch that struck out Crawford, a little cutter. And Connor Gillespie with great bat control, taking the location, and in his mind, that's up around the belt. Between the belt and the letters on his chest, he is very tough to defend. It doesn't do too much, goes right back up the middle and gets himself an RBI reward. And he's just everything he does is just so professional, so old school, so hard-nosed.
Hundley is 0 for 2. Now Pence is at second. And it's a bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. 84 pitches. No activity in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Or is there any in the Giants pen?
Here's where you have to get greedy. Got a crooked number up there on the board already. Extra base here, and you can really blow this game open.
Hundley pops it up. It'll be Owings, and that'll end the inning. So the Giants put a 3 spot on the board. Kane started it out with a double, and then hits by Span and Pent, or make that Crawford. And it's 3-1 Giants.
The Togo's way on this day in 2004, April 12th, Barry Bonds took Brewers pitcher Matt Kinney deep for career home run number 660, and that would tie him with his godfather Willie Mays. And the two would share third on the all-time list. And the Governor was there.
We had more characters around in those days.
Well, every time he stepped up to take on that bat, there was anticipation in the Cove.
Yep. Here's Lamb to hit first.
First pitch breaking ball, and on top, he's fallen behind the first inning or so, and after that, he's been on top of these guys 0-1. Kane has really had a nice rhythm, and definitely the best fastball we've seen him have in a while.
Lamb has walked and singled. Tomas and Drury following Lamb. We're in the 6th. Lamb smokes it foul. Ben Peckner will chase that one down.
Let's go, Ben.
He's moving around pretty good. He should. He's only 30 years old, for crying out loud.
Toby Peckner on the third base side, he's 24.
With the reports coming in about rain, the Giants may need the Peckner's advice here pretty soon. And that's fair. And that's a ground rule double. All right, let's check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen. Well, prior to tonight's game, the Giants, along with Rawlings, honored several Giants for their defensive prowess in 2016 with a Gold Glove ceremony. It was fun for everybody to watch. Brandon Crawford receiving his 2nd Gold Glove award. Beside him, his double play partner Joe Panik and Buster Posey, who each earned the honor for the first time. It is very sweet hardware, well deserved, and something to be very proud of, guys.
Something to be extremely proud of. Absolutely. That's every defensive player's dream. Is here's Tomas. Tomas takes a call strike.
Saw the gentleman in the gray suit, Jim Hughes, who's been with Rawlings for a long time, ex-player.
Yeah, he hit me on purpose once.
Jim Hughes did?
Jim Hughes, he was with the Twins.
What'd you do to deserve that?
I didn't do anything. He's like the nicest guy in the world. And he always denied it. He said, no, I never hit you. Well, you know, you can check these days, right? Never hit you. And I mean, that conversation between Jim Hughes and me, it's been going on for 15 years. Tomas out of play. But 2 years ago, I got a letter from a fan who was young when he went to that particular game. And he said, hey, you know, one of the things I remember is Jim Hughes hitting you in the first inning. So I saved the letter and I showed it to Jim. And you know what his response was? I did hit you on purpose. I said, oh, well, please.
Well, that makes it okay.
One and two to Tomas with Lamb at second base. And it's just outside. It's 2-2.
I mean, if he hits you on purpose, then you got to feel like, you know, he doesn't like it.
Well, I got to fight the guy right now.
30 years later.
Absolutely.
He is one of the nicest guys.
Charge him in the elevator.
Well, yeah.
Here's the 2-2 to Tomas. And it's a full count. So King stumbles a bit. Now, this is a big pitch. Giants have just taken the lead, so Kane trying to come up with a shutdown inning.
Pitches into it. Stuff is still good. But as you pointed out, this is a big pitch.
Taps it foul.
So 91-mile-an-hour velocity on the fastball with good location on the outside corner. Tomas will help you out. I mean, he's going to expand his zone. He wants to swing it, but if he walks here, this might be the last hitter that Kane faces. They've got Corey Guerin ready to go, the sinker baller down in the Giants bullpen.
curveball just outside. So now it's decision time for Bruce Bochy. Abergetti got the okay from Mark Gardner. He tipped his cap saying he's ready.
That's it.
Well, Kane should get a pretty good round of applause. He pitched well tonight.
That he should.
Giants will be very happy with this performance.
So Guerin's coming in. Here's the ovation for Kane. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. We'll be back. Backs with their first two hitters aboard here in the sixth. And there's Corey Guerin.
Fourth time he's coming to the ball game. No ERA yet. One strikeout, 2 innings. I mean, he's the guy who can get a ground ball and get you a double play. And that's what he's going to be pitching for with Brandon Drury up to hit.
Drury's faced him 3 times. He's 1 for 3. Swing and a miss. There's a good sinker. No balls and 1 strike.
You know, the thing about him too, he's a high sidearm guy with a little funkiness to his delivery. But he can bring some velocity up there that has sink behind it. He's also got a slurvy type breaking ball. He's got a changeup. For him, the key is get that ball down around the knees. That's where the ground balls are.
Tap foul, 0-2.
You really have to have a sinker ball on your staff for situations like this.
Way outside, it's 1-2.
Big sweeping frisbee-like breaking ball.
On deck is Owens. Look out.
Now the idea of that 1-2 pitch is to start that thing on the inside corner and let it fall off, let it run its movement. The movement on the sink at that velocity is about 6 to 8 inches. But a little bit of an open fly with his front shoulder. And as his arm dragged through the release point, that caused him to almost hit Drury. And believe me, that's the last thing he wants to do. He's hit somebody.
And now Guerin will keep an eye on Lamb, who's bouncing around at second base. Kane watching. He allowed the double to Lamb, a ball down the first base line, and a walk to Tomas. Down the right field line, that'll be foul.
Hey, look who got it. Ball had a little elevation. He wants to get that ball down. Still in the driver's seat with his 2-2 count.
Got him.
That's the pitch he wanted. Started on the inside corner, let the movement fall off. The sink on Guerin's sinker is almost like a left-handed slider. It's that big. And that, folks, is perfection at 92 miles per hour. You can see the two-seam grip, low or high sidearm delivery, and watch the movement get right underneath the bat of Drury. So you don't get the ground ball, but you'll take a strikeout.
Here's Owings. Owings is 1 for 2. When Guerin starts to the plate, he's not fast, so Panik is doing the best he can to keep Lamb close.
Guerin very deliberate. He's not a quick pace guy. And the point you make is once he starts leaning into his delivery, his unload time is slow.
Oh, and 2. If he can hit that spot, he'll be in good shape.
You're right. Knee high on either corner, and that's the idea. Drury, the runner at second base, he's got pretty good speed. I mean, he could take advantage of a slow delivery of a pitcher out of the stretch. Tomas at first base, even with a big lead with a runner at first and second, still not a likely candidate to steal. There's the line for Kane. Outstanding outing. 8 base runners and 5+, 6 strikeouts.
Got him.
So Frisbee away, hard sink in, Frisbee away, and it's a 1-2-3, see ya. And Owings cannot stop the bat head. And he missed it by 2 feet.
Jeez. That had a little Serge Romo in it. Here's Mathis. His Ty Block now hitting down to the bullpen. Mathis is bounced out and struck out. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
He is shredding the corners right now. Corey Guerin on both sides of the plate.
Block. Outside and high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lamb and Tomas are your base runners. Out of play, 1-2. So Guerin steps off the side of the slab. See where Hundley sets up. He got him, and what a job by that man, Corey Guerin, as he strikes out the side. How about that?
Tremendous corner command with the cutter, or with the slider and the sinker, and you can't do any better than that. Giants hold the lead.
Nice
Take a
job by
look at
Guerin.
the movement. Watch the ball come right down the middle and either go hard left or hard right. And that is what Corey Guerin's all about. When you see that ball come out of his hand, it's coming right down the middle of the strike zone, and all of a sudden explode left, explode right. And tonight he shined. What a performance. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. And look at Matt Cain as the Giants hold the 2-run advantage.
Joe Panik will lead things off. Shelby Miller still in the ball game, and why not? He's thrown the ball really well. He's got 85 pitches. And Panik takes one down and in. Joe Panik has reached on an error, and he hit a fly ball to right. He hit the ball really well, but the wind just knocked it down and acted like it was just a normal fly ball to right. Pitch is low. Parker to follow. And that's pulled on the ground, foul.
And that's why you have a pigtail. Doing the protecting.
The 2-1 to Panik, and Panik lifts this one the other way and out of play. Wind is really starting to kick up. The weather reports are really not that good as to what's going to happen here within the next half an hour or so. But you and I are not weathermen.
Yeah, we're not making a call. However, my elbow's throbbing.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And a full count to Joe Panic. Panic trying to reach for Parker. And he lines it to right, and he is going to reach for Parker.
Well, join us in the ballpark for our first official Orange Friday of the regular season. Tickets are still available for Friday night. You'll also get to experience post-game fireworks presented by Altec Lansing. If you want tickets, go to sfgiants.com. Rockies coming to town, and on Friday night, it's going to be Johnny Cueto taking on the left-hander Tyler Anderson. So come on out and join us. Love to have you.
Parker is walked and he's struck out. And he fouls it back. It's 0-1. Aaron Hill is on deck. Inside corner strike. Giants will welcome in the Rockies tomorrow. The Diamondbacks will have a day off in Los Angeles. And then they'll take on the Dodgers on Friday night. Zach Greinke's going to face the Dodgers on Friday night.
This is the first trip for the.
And a base hit for Parker as he goes the other way. Sometimes the game looks really easy, doesn't it?
Well, it did on that particular situation. 2-strike count down the hole, and all of a sudden, whoop, little ground ball opposite side, and he gets himself a knock. Second knock of the year, 2-seamer. They wanted that thing to go front door. He leaves it out of the plate, goes with the location. Nicely done.
By the way, that Friday night game in Los Angeles, Kershaw, Greinke.
Yeah, it'd be a good one. As you see the full moon coming up out of the east. I was going to say for the Diamondbacks, San Francisco is the first city on a 3-trip road trip.
So Hill's going to hit. And he looks at a strike.
There's Zach Greinke. Still got his Dodger glasses.
Hill over to lifetime against Shelby Miller. Mathis keeps it close. That's all he needed to do, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller with 96 pitches.
Andrew Chafin, one of 2 lefties in the D-backs bullpen heating up. And he's thinking about Denard Span. Contos will pitch the 7th inning for the Giants. Ooh. Miller wanted it.
Here's the pitch. Very close.
Yeah, you can see why he wanted it. He's got 2 on, down 2 runs, nobody out. You want everything you can get, especially when you come close to a corner.
So it's 2-2 to Hill. Looking down at Chafin getting loose and saw a familiar face. Remember Mike Fetters?
Oh yeah.
With the growl.
Yep. Had the unique style where he would look down at the ground. And well, now he is the bullpen coach for the Diamondbacks.
2-2 to Hill. And fouls it out of play.
A chance to get to know Mike Fetters. He's the nicest guy in the
He
world.
is.
But he was a bulldog face when he got on the mound.
He had an act.
Good man.
Shades of the 70s with Al Habrowski. 80s too. Royals, what, Cardinals for
Yeah. That was what, 1985?
2-2. In the dirt and a full count. Is that Wilhelmsen joining Chafin? I believe it is.
It is. Wilhelmsen, the big right-hander.
Ball gets loose. Stoppage of play. So a full count to Aaron Hill. Got him.
Cutter's been a good pitch for him in that 3-2 count. He got Brandon Crawford earlier in the game, back in the 5th inning. And here he gets Hill. So a non-productive out with 2 on and nobody out.
So here's Span. Is Torey Lovullo coming out? You'd think he'd make the change right away, right?
He's coming. Just not in any hurry.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Has he seen the weather?
Bay Area is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. By AAA, get a free Giants welcome mat. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/Giants or to a AAA branch for details. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By State Farm, combine auto and renters and see how much you can save. Talk to an agent today. And by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
See, inside the ballpark, it's a 3-1 lead for the Giants. Is Denard Span about to face Andrew Chafin?
Take a look at the numbers. 6 times he's come in, off to a good start. You take your bat against him, you're going to see a 3/4 release with a low 90s fastball and a hard slider. Interesting guy. For the season living in the Phoenix area this year, he'll be living in an RV. I thought that was noteworthy.
Up and in to Span. 1 ball and no strikes. Span has a couple of hits, one that knocked in a run. And that evens the count. Couple of lefties, Span and then Belt. Panic at second, Parker at first. He's trying to add on to this lead. And it's low and away. 2 balls and a strike. And
I think that inside location was a mistake. Span's looking away. Talked about Chaffin. When he's facing lefties, you're going to see a fastball and a slider. For the most part, it's going to be middle away. They set that target away, and he missed on the inside corner. Easy take for Span when you're sitting middle half.
Hitters count for Span. Drives one out into right center field. Peralta is going to make the running catch, and tagging is Panic to third.
That's the at bat right there that wears you down. I mean, Span did everything right, and all he gets out of it, well, he doesn't get anything out of it but a productive 90 feet to move a run up to third. And he killed that thing.
Remember the other day we said some hitters keep track of balls that they hit that would be home runs someplace else.
That's one he'll keep track of.
Check out the new lineup for Giants postgame live. You can follow it every game. Dave Feldman, Ahmed Fareed, new analysts Matt Williams and Javi Lopez. NBCBayArea.com. Giants on the go. Check it out. Here's Belt. Overshift is on for Belt. Now they're the post-game live, fellas.
Dave Feldman on the right. Tim Flannery, of course, on the left. Matt Williams. Steve Gilbert on the left side of your screen.
Belt. Side retired. Giants hit a couple of balls hard, come up empty. It remains 3-1.
Toyota dealer through 6 full innings of play, or for 5, yeah, through 6 full innings of play. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for the D-backs. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Giants. Matt Cain outstanding. 5+ solid innings with 6 strikeouts in those 5 innings. And the Giants putting up a crooked number in inning number 5, which has been the difference. And that's significant because we're starting to get some rain coming into the ballpark. That is our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. New pitcher now for the Giants is George Cantos.
When it's time for a change, things speedy. Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
4th time that George Cantos has come into a game, and this is a big outing for George. His last one did not fare well. He will try to protect the lead. Cantos, you'll see a low 90s fastball. He'll 2 and 4 seam, a curveball, changeup, and his money pitch, the slider.
It's Jeremy Hazelbaker. Done a good job coming off the bench, and he's going to look at a strike. I said it's been a good job for Hazelbaker. He's hitting .857.
What?
How do you hit .857? 9 for 11. What is that?
He's 6 for 7. I've never known anybody to be 6 for 7.
So to say he's confident is an understatement.
Yeah. And right now, Cantos is ahead in the count. Got him.
Not this time. That's a 3-pitch see ya. George Cantos just threw as good a slider as he could throw. And just a straight down biter. Yep, time to break out the parkas.
I got a news flash for you.
What do you got?
Just got a text from Keith Overman, who's watching. He said, by the way, the guy you're talking about, he hit you twice.
Jim Hughes got you twice? He doesn't like you. He gets you once, that's a mistake. He gets you 2 times. You are not his favorite.
And he said he got you leading off the game.
Yeah, he.
You know what?
Does not
That's
like
it.
you.
Thanks, Keith. I will not speak to Jim Hughes anymore.
The nicest guy in the world.
One ball and 1 strike to A.J. Pollock.
Didn't Oberyn used to have an award he used to give out to the worst person in the world?
He made Lee Hammer 2 days in a row.
Lee Hammer, our program director at KMVR. Well, you just made Jim Hughes your worst person in the world.
2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, that's a pretty good pitch. It's 3-1.
Let's take a look at the slider on the 2-1. Just a wee bit low.
Pollock should get something to hit here.
If he doesn't get him out, you're going to see Ty Block bolt down to the Giants bullpen. Mark Gardner just went over and said, all right, get your jacket off, start thinking about it. If he gets on base, you're going to be thinking about Jake Lamb.
Right.
He's 3 hitters away.
Span puts it away, 2 outs.
Even a line drive like that is still not a comfortable play on a night as windy as tonight.
Always looks that shot always makes it look like it's raining a lot harder than it really is. But nevertheless, it's still coming down.
Well, it looks like it's snowing.
Here's Peralta. Came prepared.
Gamers.
Peralta singled in the 5th inning. Here he takes a bit high. Cantos wants to know where it is. 1 ball and no strikes. Swinging a foul. And Peralta goes no.
I don't know about that. It's Mark Carlson, third base umpire, making the non-call, and Bruce Bochy just thought he got it wrong. Let's take a look. Now this is Bochy's look. Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. The raindrops are getting fatter.
It is starting to come down much harder. Grounds crew is ready to roll.
Oh, they're armed and dangerous.
And there's a base hit. And now that'll bring up Goldschmidt, who represents the tying run.
That ball almost picked off fielded Cobra at the second base umpire. That's the thing about the slider. I mean, you throw a lot of sliders in a row. The more you throw, the more diluted they get, and the more likely you are to hang one. And that's exactly what Peralta got, a hanging slider. And he did what you're supposed to do with hanging sliders.
Yeah, that's what you do. You just become creative.
Well, that was the Gold Glove foam finger that they gave out before the game today, and it's putting it to good use. Plus, you can wash your car with it.
Goldschmidt trying to tie it up, fouls it straight back.
Yep.
Just be creative, that's all.
It's a good ad lib right there.
Goldschmidt pops this one down the right field line and out of play.
That's 2 fastballs that get a quick 0-2.
Top of the 7th inning. Running on the play was Peralta, so that'll be a steal. And Peralta picks up his 2nd of the year. One and 2 to Paul Goldschmidt. He had both cheeks into that one. It stays at 1 and 2.
Well, the thing about Goldschmidt too is, I mean, he doesn't have a 2-strike adjustment swing because he's got a compact swing. I mean, the swing you see 1-2, you're going to see 2-0, and it is loaded with power. And he just missed that one.
He did. No swing.
So Manny Gonzalez, the first base umpire, says no swing.
I think that's a good call.
And I agree with him.
Santos is going to spear it and throw him out. Nice play. For the Giants, Pence, Crawford, and Gillespie coming up. Nice job, Contos.
Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. So check it out, MLB.tv. We give it 2 thumbs up.
3, 4, 5. Use it every day. Giants with a 3-1 lead. Tom Wilhelmsen will be the new pitcher when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Kind of a nightmarish season last year for Wilhelmsen, but he's really turned his fate around. He had a nice spring with the Diamondbacks, and see what he has done in 4 games. 3 1/3 innings pitches, 3 base runners allowed. When you take your bats against him, you're going to see a mid-90s fastball. He can sink and cut. Got a curveball, slider, changeup combination. Just more breaking balls than changeups, but he's got good stuff.
Here's Hunter Pence. We're in the bottom of the 7th. And Pence takes a breaking ball down low. Pence with an RBI single to the opposite field in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. And a strike with Crawford on deck. And then Connor Gillespie. Nunez the night off. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Really like everything about the Diamondbacks, from their broadcasters to players to manager. This has bounced to second, but I'm ready to see him go.
Well, that's what happens when you play a team 7 times in your first 10 games.
That's killing me.
Well, you're going to feel the same way about the Rockies after you're going to see the Rockies 7 times in your next 10 games.
Yeah, that's true. See, I like those guys.
Well, they were saying the same thing about us.
They're ready to get the heck out of here, too. Crawford is 0 for 3. There's Block. Probably be tired of Nolan Arenado by what, Friday?
Well, maybe by his third at bat tomorrow. I mean, given the damage that he has done historically to the Giants.
Two and 0. Crawford takes a pitch just wide, 3-0. See if Crawford has the green light. We'll never know. It's 3-1.
I think he does if he wants to.
I think you're right. So the Giants have a base runner here in the 7th.
A couple of times he pulled the trigger on 3-0 counts last year. They were big hits. So he's not a guy that locks up in that 3-0 count.
Derek Law is going to join Ty Block. Gillespie had a big 2-out RBI single in the 5th inning. Overshift is on for Gillespie. And he takes low. You see the defense. Gillespie's base hit was right over the bag at second. Takes it down low. Crawford thought about it. Mathis gets to it. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
That's a nice cover up by Mathis. He's quick. Breaking ball goes down in the dirt. Turn that glove the right way. Now he's got to recover and get on it with a bare hand. And that effort right there froze Crawford at first.
There's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wilhelmsen. There's Gillespie. Asked for time.
Sort of a problem if you're a guy that wears no gloves on a night where it's raining lightly like it is here.
Yeah, you know, the one thing about Conor Gillespie is he really has a very large knob at the bottom of his bat. And I think it's plastic. I think it fits over the wooden knob. Stays alive. Remember, the The rubber knob that we used to have if you wanted to choke up.
Yeah, it's a rubber cap right there that fits over the bottom of the knob. You say, why is it? Well, it just feels good to him. It's all about how that bat feels in your hand. And he uses that knob when he throws the bat head.
The rubber knob I'm talking about, you had to like slip it over the end and you could use it to choke up. You could move it up and down.
Yeah, guys would get like 35-inch bats and they'd put that rubber knob on it, and in essence make it a 33.5-inch bat. But they thought they were getting better wood with the bigger bat.
Driven to right, but standing there is Peralta, and he's going to make the catch right out in Triple's alley. So that's the one time where the defense and the overshift really paid off.
I think the Diamondbacks' defensive sets in this series have been unbelievable. They've really taken away a lot of base hits from the Giants. I bet they've taken away 8, maybe 10 hits.
Hundley is 0 for 3. We're in the 7th. Pitch runs inside to Hundley. Joe Panic is on deck.
It is a fight to hold your concentration. But a misting rain like this is not as bad as a regular rain, like you see back in the Midwest in the middle of summer. Because then the size of the raindrop hits the helmet and it makes a noise. The rain tonight will not make noise on a helmet.
Hundley fouls it out of play.
But it will affect your grip when the ball hits the grass. And if you're an infielder, you get a ball, it's going to be wet. It does affect the bat when you're holding it. Well, there's nothing good about rain in a baseball game.
Crawford's going to go. Mathis slings it, and it's not in time.
Tell you what, that's A effort right there from Mathis. Everything about that play was the big leagues. Secondary lead, the anticipation from Crawford. He sees that ball and he's gone, and then Mathis realizes he has to hurry. And the Diamondbacks are looking at this. Well, that's a big league stop right there. And he almost pulls it off.
Good night in the Bay Area tonight. Sharks win. Warriors win. A's win.
Giants trying to join the club.
Trying to join the club. It's Crawford now in scoring position. The count is 2-1 to Nick Hundley.
Aren't you glad you're not sitting behind that umbrella?
That is a fact. That's why you bring just a small scissors to the game. Three and 1 to Hundley.
That umbrella's about the size of the guy that sat in front of you in New York Theater.
True. 3 balls and 1 strike. So it'll be a long run for Goldschmidt, and it's going to be out of play as the wind really pushed that one back. So Goldschmidt really didn't have to go that far at all. It's 3-2. It is a husky wind tonight. You know, it took the Giants a lot of nerve to hand out umbrellas during the drought.
Now.
And now.
Worth their weight in gold.
Hit well to right, but the wind is going to knock it down. No, off the bricks. Hundley into second, and he makes it, and Crawford scores. Well, it may have knocked it down to keep it from going out, but Hundley with an opposite field double. How about that?
Well, that's a great two-strike at bat. The point is he let this ball get into him deep. And that little 96er just got some elevation. It wasn't a hanger. The only way he beats it if he goes to right field, he gets backspin about halfway up the wall, and Peralta deked the two of us. And on a normal night, that's out of here.
I think you're right. Here's Panic. It's 4-1. Panic has this one squared off of Mathis's glove, and Hundley to third.
Well, the veteran move would be for Mathis to go out there shaking his head, talking to Wilhelmsen, to give the official score of the idea that maybe he got crossed up with a runner at second base. As it is, he's going to get a pass ball out of it.
Panic with a single in the 6th inning. Butcher coming out.
Well, there's nobody in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. I really don't know what this would be about.
Big rain cloud coming.
At times, I think some pitching coaches do get bonus clauses for the number of trips they make to the mound. Unless he flat out saw something mechanically that was screwed up. Normally when there's rain around, there's a conscious effort to kind of pick the pace of the game up. At least for the team with the lead.
Two and one to Panic. 2-2 to Panic. So Law and Block are in the bullpen. One of those two will be coming in.
What do you think? Trash bag and some orange tape?
Yeah. Two pitch. Here it is. Foul down the left field line and out of play. 41,656.
French for life.
Yep. That group part of the 41,000 plus.
Now there's your veterans.
3-2.
Nice block with a man at third.
You know what? A Hood is a good option. 3-2 pitch. Panic will see another one.
It's a good 3-2 pitch right there. Change up. So Archie Bradley getting the windmill going. A little blood flow to the shoulder.
Panic will take the walk.
Good at bat. Take a look at the sequence of pitches. I mean, he pretty much covered the spectrum: high, low, outside, inside, and look at the different velocities. Through it all, panic worked a walk, get it back.
Here's Parker. Parker, an RBI opportunity here in the 7th. And he looks at one for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Generous strike.
High, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Key for Parker to get the front foot down. Problem he's had the last 10 days of spring, carrying right through the season. Didn't have a problem with it earlier in spring. He was hot. You look at his style of hitting, he's got a lot of movement. Fidgets around a lot. And when he starts to get his rhythm going into the swing, he has to get that front foot down in order to use his lower body.
Parker drives one. Center field. Hit well. And it is off the top of the wall. And 2 runs are going to score. And Parker's headed to third. And now the Giants have busted it open.
And that's the swing of the bat that he's been waiting for. He had no problem using the lower body in this swing. That front foot drops. There's a little hesitation, and the hips start to throw, and watch the bat head release right through the ball. And watch the front foot. Bang. He waits on that back leg, and the lower body rotates right through, and there's power. I thought off the crack of the bat it was out of here, and only the wind kept that thing from going out of here. As it is, it didn't go. It missed maybe 2 feet. Great at bat.
So we're going to see a new pitcher. Giants have put 3 on the board here in the 7th. Inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
So the new pitcher now for Arizona is the converted starter to bullpenner Archie Bradley, hard thrower, 3rd game for him. And look at the numbers: 5 1/3, 8 strikeouts against a walk. You're going to see mid to high 90s velocity with 2 types of movement on the fastball. And as a former starter, you're going to see the curveball, slider, changeup. He'll throw them all from a high 3/4 release.
Chris Marrero takes a strike. It's 0-1. Marrero hitting in the 9th spot. Breaking ball hit on the ground to third, and Lamb. And that'll end the inning. Giants come up with 3 runs on a double, a triple, and 2 walks. And Jarrett Parker with the triple to knock in a pair. 6-1 Giants.
With the Colorado Rockies. You'll see it right here on NBC Sports Bay Area. 7 o'clock game, hour-long pregame, live at 6. And this season, Giants are available to stream live on NBC Sports app. And for up-to-the-minute Giants news, log on to NBCBayArea.com for insider Alex Pavlovich.
Derek Law's the new pitcher here in the 8th. The Giants with a 6-1 lead. And Lamb is now behind 0-2. You've been doing a lot of those tonight.
Yeah, well, just give you a little bit of a
just
break.
Just kidding. And it really doesn't matter who's pitching if Lamb is facing the Giants. It doesn't matter.
No, he just gets on base every time. Here on opposite field, 0-2 base hit.
Let's check in with Amy G.
Well, gentlemen, with Buster Posey on the DL, the Giants are very happy about signing Nick Hundley in the offseason. He came with a great reputation, a lot of time in the NL West, and he's already won over the confidence of his teammates who told me how confident they are in him today, and the skipper who said he feels this team's in very good hands with Nick Hundley behind the dish. He said the key for him in being a backup catcher is to prepare the same way every day, and he prepares as if he's going to play, whether or not he's in that lineup or not. And Mike, maybe you recall I reached out to you in the offseason when they signed Nick, and I said, what are your thoughts? And you texted back, tremendous signing. You were all over it, Mike, guys.
Well, I've liked Nick Hundley since I first saw him with the Padres and followed his career. And there's an appreciation that I think any old pitcher has watching a good catcher do his craft.
Plus, you met his dad.
Yeah, plus, you know, his dad's an old football coach, and there's nobody tougher than Nick Hundley on this Giants team. I mean, he's just cut from tough stock. But it was a good ad, and you know, you never know because of the position of catching how an injury might take your starter, as it has for a week with Buster Posey on the concussion DL. But you give a pitching staff over to a Nick Hundley, and it's in good hands. Everybody likes to throw to him. Everybody trusts him. Doesn't get rattled. Very calm and easy through whatever situation you have during the game.
Right. I saw a note, I don't know which paper it was, it's one of our beat writers. I suppose he's available to come off on Tuesday, right? Team is in Kansas City, and you playing the Royals. You have the DH as this is slowly hit the belt, and Belt's going to turn around. He better hurry, and he tagged Tomas. On the play, Lamb goes to second. So that may very well be an option for Bruce Bochy, keeping Buster from behind the plate for 2 games.
Let's take a look at the play by Brandon Belt. Takes a look, and all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh. But he knew where Tomas was going to be, and he gets the out. But he always looks lead bag. I mean, he's a good thrower, and that's what good throwing first basemen do.
Here's Brandon Drury, who's 0 for 3. Hadn't been 0 for in many games this year with his lofty batting average. Here he takes down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, that's when the DH can really help you.
Yes, absolutely. Giants will have Tuesday, Wednesday game in Kansas City, a day off on Thursday, and then the series, the 3-game series in Colorado, will start on that Friday night. So that may very well be, as there's a base hit to right field, the first start for Buster Posey. They're going to wave in, and just beating the throw was Lamb.
Well, I don't think Lamb coming down the third base line was getting any help from Chris Owings, the on-deck hitter, telling him to slide, because as he came in standing up, he almost was out.
Yeah, let's watch to see where Owings is.
I think he saw the play himself. I don't think he needed Owings. He did, upon further review.
But it's Owens' responsibility to be there.
Well, he was in the on-deck circle with a bat in his hand. You're right. That is your job. If you're on deck, you become a base coach.
One and one to Chris Owings, who swings and misses, 1 and 2. So Law gets dinged here in the 8th for a run. And Giants are finding out that maybe Owings will help you out a little bit if you don't throw him strikes.
Well, 2 times in this game, he has really gone out of strike zone wide to strike out. Once in the 6th inning on a big wide slider against Corey Guerin, and here he goes and chases a ball way off the plate down the dirt. So you're right. Duly noted.
Duly noted in the 8th inning of the 7th game.
Don't worry. Hey. They've got, what, 11 more games against them?
Yeah. Here's Mathis.
Big league breaking ball right there from Derek Law.
Panic will catch the soft line drive, and that'll end the inning. Giants are coming up. It'll be the top of the order. right, folks, still hanging in there with the Giants leading 6-2.
Oh yeah, the foam gloves are working. They make the gamer babes happy. Hunter Strickland heading down to the Giants pen.
Here's Span. Span takes a strike. It's Span, then Belt, then Pence. Span hits this one on the ground right to the cut of the grass for Drury. 1 out. So here's Belt. Belt is 0 for 3. And he takes down low with Hunter Pence to follow. A wild, weathery night here at the ballpark.
Don't see many of them. But when you do see them, they usually are in April. But given as to how wet it has been this winter, I expect to see them all the way through July. A much needed wet winter. Oh, by the way, Governor Brown said officially the drought is over.
I know the drought is over. 4 words I thought I'd never hear.
Well, you drive through California right now, the hills, it's like Ireland.
It's a different green.
It is a deep green.
It is a different green. I also found out I got about 9 leaks in the house I never knew I had.
Well, hey, it happens.
That's why you have buckets. Here's Pence. So Belt takes his second walk of the game.
We had to break the sandbags out this year.
Wow. So what do? You buy sandbags or you bag it yourself?
No, you bag it yourself. And you go to the place where they give you the bags and they give you the dirt.
So you can't go to Amazon and order it. Well, you might. Probably shouldn't say no.
I haven't checked it out.
Oh, and 2 to Pence. The picture I liked that you sent me this winter was massive snowstorm, very cold, and the ducks swimming in your pool.
That became a problem.
0 and 2 to Pence. And the pitch is in the dirt. I showed my wife, I said, look at this. Look at the Kruko's pool. They're still using it.
Ducks in the pond.
I can't imagine you'd go out and shout if they're just going to leave. I mean, they probably look at you like, right, come on in and get me out.
Well, that was half the entertainment, having ducks in the pool. We have 2 Goldens, and
Pence called out.
They would, that was their job to get them to fly away. And it would usually take about 10 minutes.
Stream the Giants on the go this season. You'll be able to stream every NBC Sports Bay Area Giants broadcast on your desktop or mobile device. Giants game streamed on the go on the NBC Sports app. And if you're lucky, maybe sometime we'll stream you the ducks swimming in Kruko's pool. Here's Crawford. Brandon Crawford is 0 for 3. He did get things started in the 7th with a 1-out walk when the Giants scored their 3 insurance runs. When you have a great friend that lives in Reno, it's amazing the number of times in the conversation is it snowing over the pass? It's like every day.
You're consumed with that. Highway 80.
Pitches inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, they had over 700 inches of snow at the ski resorts this year up there. Sugar Bowl, North Star, Squaw, Mount Rose.
There's Mount Diablo. 2 balls and 1 strike. Crawford takes wide, 3-1.
So we're at 5,000 feet. We had a lot of snow. We had over 100 inches.
Yeah, we used to start out the conversation about baseball. This winter, nope. It was all about the weather. Crawford lifts it high and foul down the left field line and out of play. 3-2.
But nobody complaining in this part of the world.
Nope.
And there were some hardships too. I mean, there was some flooding. But people learn to pack their parkas.
Bottom of the 8th, the 3-2 pitch to Crawford, and Crawford fouls it back. It stays at 3-2. Belt getting a workout on every one of these 3-2 pitches. He's taken off.
Yep, there's a happy guy.
And it's a good time for foul balls if you're a fan.
That's 3 high fives.
And Crawford strikes out to end the inning. So we'll go to the 9th. The Giants with a 6-2 lead. And it's time for a change. Thanks Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. So there's your new pitcher, Hunter Strickland.
Take a look at what he has done this year. He's been very solid. 4 innings pitched, 4 base runners allowed, 5 strikeouts against a couple of walks. Mid to high 90s with the fastball. He's got a slider and a split.
Chris Herman will be the pinch hitter. Now, Mark Melanson's going to go down to the bullpen, and he's just going to go down there to start playing catch. If it gets a little weird here in the 9th, then you'll see him start to take things very seriously. And a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Generous strike. Chris Herman not happy about that. Questions C.B. Buckner. He may have not said anything, but he gave Buckner that look like, I want to see you try and hit that.
Hit on the ground and panic. Will move to his left and throw out Herman. 1 out. It's a little weird on balls hit when it's been raining. You just don't ever quite know what you're going to get.
Well, and you're going to get a wet ball. Is it easier for a second baseman than an infielder on the left side?
Yeah, it's just a shorter throw. Top of the order in A.J. Pollock.
Right in the sweet spot of that glove. Yep, no problem there.
Pollock takes a strike. Pollock tripled to open up the ball game. After that, he struck out, bounced out, and lined out to center field. And they're going to say that Pollock went around, or at least they being Manny Gonzalez. It's 0-2. Eight hits for the D-backs, 9 hits for the Giants.
So if he's going to swing one in the dirt, throw it again. 0-2. Giants would like to see Hunter Strickland throw that split finger fastball a little more. I mean, he sets his grip every time, just in case he wants to throw it.
Ball squirts away. Hundley jumps on it. Hundley throws it. And Pollock is retired. 2 outs.
Yeah, good use of the slider in a perfect location, as you mentioned. Swing at it once, maybe he'll swing at it again, and he just proved it.
So here's Peralta. And Peralta rolls this one to Panic, and that's the ball game. So tonight, Matt Cain gets a win.
Well, that's the story of tonight. I mean, and the one thing that the Giants have been waiting for is for him to get more comfortable with where his stuff's at. And tonight he was fantastic. He used all of his pitches, and the pitch that came to life about the second inning, and really he got a lot of outs with it, was the 2-seam fastball. It was constantly with big time movement, a lot of great location with it, and good velocity. So I mean, this is something that he's got to be very excited about, and I know the Giants are. This is a big win for a lot of reasons, but getting Matt Cain to pitch the way he did tonight, that is huge for this team.
You know, Mike, and it really didn't start out well for him, but he really settled in after the first inning.
Yeah, first guy up is A.J. Pollock. He hits a triple. He minimizes the damage, allows 1 run there. And along about the second inning is when he really started to get a rhythm down, and we started seeing him go inside, outside with not only the fastball, but really with all of his pitches. The changeup, the curveball, everything was working, and that included the cutter as well. So really a solid performance, one to build on, and one that they'll all be happy about in that Giants clubhouse tonight.
You know, one other guy that's got to be happy is Jared Parker. A couple of hits.
Well, plus he got the big hit. I mean, he had another single, a couple of singles. That's how his first 2 hits went this season. But then he got the bomb off the wall in center, a 2-run shot that led to a 3-run 7th inning. It really was the big swing of this game that just kind of blew this game open.
All right, let's go to Amy.
All right, gentlemen, as you said, a big win, and Denard, a big win in a lot of ways. Great storylines tonight. Series win, your first series win of the season. But let's start with Matt Cain, who set the tone. Labored a little bit in the first and then totally settled in. And he scores your first run.
Yeah, he looked really good tonight. Everything was working on all cylinders for him. His curveball was going good, and his fastball made his fastball even more effective. So I'm just happy for him. You know, he's a hard worker, and happy to see him come out and pitch as good as he did.
Can you share your thoughts on the offense tonight? So much production up and down that lineup. In fact, every single Giant in the starting lineup got on base tonight. And Bruce Bochy talked last night about you guys needed to find that big hit, and you found a couple of them tonight. What did you feel was the difference for you guys?
I think us just buckling down, just slowing the game down, and realizing when guys are in scoring position that the pitcher's on the hook, not us, and get good pitches to hit, and that's what we did tonight.
Well, if Corey Guerin was on the hook, he did a really good job. Let's talk about the difference maker he was tonight. Strikes out the side and strands too. What can you say about his production tonight?
That was unbelievable performance by him. He came in and backed up what Matt Cain did, and you got to give credit to our whole bullpen. You know, they all, everybody that came in and pitched tonight pitched well.
Congratulations on the win. Let's get it back up to Crook and Kite.
All right, thanks, Amy, and thanks to Denard Span. The Giants win this one, and they take 2 out of 3 for the D-backs. They win it by a final of 6-2. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live. That's going to start right after this break.